temperatures hotter than the center of the sun, the highest energy lasers in the world, magnets the size of a basketball court, and the promise of virtually unlimited energy on Earth. Nuclear fusion has captivated scientists for decades. But what is it? And why has it proven so challenging for scientists to achieve? Dozens of universities and governments around the world are pursuing fusion energy. They're racing to obtain a limitless energy source that produces no carbon emissions. Here at Zap Energy outside Seattle, researchers are among the 35 private companies trying to create this futuristic energy source.
Where we need to get to is getting more energy output from these fusion reactions than is required as input. In other words, to light the candle, you need a certain amount of energy.
No one here is wearing radioactive protection. Scientists say nuclear fusion is very different than nuclear fission, which powers hundreds of power plants around the world.
Fission, which is, commercially available and has been so since, right after World War II, is the breaking apart of large nuclei. Think of uranium, plutonium, these things. When you take a large nucleus and split it apart, you get a bunch of energy coming out, and that's great. It has its benefits and its drawbacks.
But nuclear reactors also produce thousands of tons of radioactive waste each year.
Fusion, on the other hand, is quite different and is not yet commercially available. This is the process that exists in all the stars, in all the galaxies in the universe. So the challenge for us is, how do you create a star on Earth? So our sun is made up predominantly of hydrogen and helium. What the sun also has is a lot of gravitational force. So it can compress all this hot gas, hot enough and dense enough that these nuclei of hydrogen come so close together that they actually fuse, and they're pushed together to create another nucleus, a heavier nucleus, which is helium. And you get even more energy than in the fission reaction.
To create that star on Earth, says Levitt, researchers must contain a mysterious substance, plasma.
In order of increasing temperature, you can start at a solid, increase the temperature, you get to a liquid, then to a gas. What happens when you go even hotter than a gas? That's a plasma.
Plasma's charged particles repel one another.
The trick is to force them together for long enough that they'll fuse.
Smushing charged plasma to achieve fusion takes incredible force. A massive machine called the National Ignition Facility in Livermore, California, uses 192 giant lasers to push the plasma together. This facility under construction in France, called ITER, will use huge magnets to try to achieve fusion. Zap is working to make smaller-scale reactors. Their name reflects their strategy. By hitting the plasma with a zap of lightning, they create magnetic fields that they believe can eventually keep the plasma together.
So if we can create this axially confined plasma with its own magnetic field, it will self-confine without the need for any other confinement technology.
But big hurdles loom. Tritium gas is a rare isotope of hydrogen that serves as a key ingredient for fusion. Recent reports, including this article in Science magazine, suggest a shortage of the gas could derail efforts to achieve fusion. The bigger problem is that despite billions of dollars of funding and decades of research into fusion, no experiment has ever produced a sustained fusion burn.
We've been making fusion reactions for more than a decade now. That's not the issue. We know how to do that. The issue is producing more energy output from fusion reactions than is required to start the fusion reactions. That's what's called this energy break-even demonstration. We believe we're right around the corner from doing so.
That achievement could make Zap Energy a household name and transform the world energy system for centuries. Eli Kintish, Newsy.